Antarctica, a continent of extremes, a place where the coldest temperatures on Earth are recorded and where the landscape is dominated by vast ice sheets and towering glaciers, a land of ice and snow, where the environment is as harsh as it is beautiful. It is a place of breathtaking beauty, home to a remarkable array of wildlife. From the resilient penguins to the majestic whales, life here has adapted to survive in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. Penguins waddle across the ice, their movements a testament to their resilience and adaptability. Whales breach in the icy waters, their presence a reminder of the rich marine life that thrives beneath the frozen surface. Seals bask in the sun, taking advantage of the brief moments of warmth in this frozen wilderness. Yet this pristine wilderness is under threat. The signs of change are becoming increasingly evident. Climate change is casting a long shadow over Antarctica. Rising temperatures are causing the ice to melt at an unprecedented rate. The ice is melting at an alarming rate, leading to the collapse of ice shelves and the retreat of glaciers. The consequences are far-reaching, impacting not only the continent itself, but the entire planet. As the ice melts, sea levels rise, threatening coastal communities around the world. This frozen world is a vital component of our planet's climate system. The vast ice sheets reflect sunlight back into space, helping to regulate global temperatures. The vast ice sheets reflect sunlight back into space, helping to regulate global temperatures. This albedo effect is crucial in maintaining the Earth's energy balance. The Southern Ocean surrounding Antarctica absorbs vast amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, mitigating the effects of climate change. This oceanic carbon sink plays a critical role in controlling the levels of greenhouse gases. But this delicate balance is being disrupted. The warming temperatures are not only melting the ice but also affecting the wildlife that depends on it. The changes we are witnessing in Antarctica are a stark warning. They are a clear indication of the rapid pace at which our climate is changing. They are a reminder that we are all connected to this fragile continent no matter how far away we may live. The health of Antarctica is a reflection of the health of our planet. The fate of Antarctica is intertwined with our own. The choices we make today will determine the future of this frozen wilderness and, ultimately, the future of our planet. The Antarctic ice sheet is vast, containing enough ice to raise global sea levels by several meters, and it's melting at an alarming rate, faster than scientists had previously predicted. The rate of melting has accelerated in recent decades, driven by a combination of natural and human-induced factors. Warmer air and ocean temperatures are the culprits, with greenhouse gas emissions playing a significant role in this warming trend. The consequences of this melting are profound, affecting not just the polar regions but the entire planet. Sea levels are rising, threatening coastal communities around the world. Low-lying areas are particularly vulnerable, facing increased flooding and erosion. The loss of ice also disrupts ocean currents and weather patterns, leading to more extreme weather events and altering marine ecosystems. The melting ice is also impacting wildlife. Species that have adapted to the cold, icy environment are finding it increasingly difficult to survive. Penguins, seals, and other creatures rely on the ice for breeding and foraging. Their life cycles are intricately linked to the presence of ice. As the ice disappears, so too do their habitats, forcing them to migrate or adapt to new conditions, often with limited success. The loss of ice also opens up new areas to human activities such as shipping and tourism, increasing the pressure on this fragile environment. These activities can lead to further environmental degradation, creating a vicious cycle of destruction. Antarctica is facing a double whammy. Not only is the ice melting, but the ocean around it is warming. This warming is happening faster than in other parts of the world. The warmer water is melting glaciers from below, accelerating their retreat. This warming water is also impacting marine life. Some species are struggling to adapt to the changing conditions. Others are moving south in search of colder waters. The warming ocean is also leading to ocean acidification. As the ocean absorbs more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it becomes more acidic. This acidification threatens a wide range of marine organisms, from tiny plankton to massive whales. Antarctica has long been isolated from the rest of the world. Its harsh conditions have acted as a natural barrier, preventing the establishment of non-native species. But this isolation is no longer guaranteed. Climate change is weakening these natural barriers. Warmer temperatures and increased human activity are providing opportunities for invasive species to gain a foothold. These invaders can have devastating impacts on native ecosystems. They can outcompete native species for food and habitat, they can introduce diseases, and they can alter the structure and function of entire ecosystems. Section 5. Plastic pollution, a global scourge, reaches Antarctica's shores. Even in the remotest corners of our planet, plastic pollution rears its ugly head. Antarctica, often considered the last pristine wilderness, is no exception to this global crisis. Plastic debris is now found on its beaches and in its waters, carried there by ocean currents from distant lands. These currents transport waste from populated areas, depositing it in this fragile ecosystem. This plastic poses a serious threat to wildlife. The unique and diverse species that inhabit Antarctica are now facing unprecedented challenges due to human negligence. Animals can become entangled in plastic debris, leading to injury or death. The entanglement can restrict their movement, making it difficult to hunt or escape predators. They can also mistake plastic for food, ingesting it with potentially fatal consequences. Ingested plastic can cause internal injuries, blockages, and even starvation as it fills their stomachs. Plastic pollution is a stark reminder that our actions have global consequences. The interconnectedness of our oceans means that waste discarded thousands of miles away can end up in the most remote and untouched places on Earth. Even in Antarctica, thousands of miles from major cities and industrial centers, the impacts of human activity are being felt. Researchers and scientists stationed here are witnessing firsthand the far-reaching effects of plastic pollution, urging us to take immediate action to protect our planet. Section 6. Scientists on the ice, unraveling the mysteries of a changing continent. Despite its remoteness, Antarctica is a hub of scientific activity. Scientists from around the world brave the harsh conditions to study this unique environment. They are working to understand the impacts of climate change on the continent and its wildlife. They are monitoring the melting ice, tracking the movements of marine animals, and studying the impacts of invasive species. Their research is crucial for informing conservation efforts and raising awareness about the plight of Antarctica. Section 7. Tracking the invaders, monitoring the spread of non-native species. Scientists are on high alert for invasive species. They are monitoring ships and cargo for hitchhiking organisms. They are also conducting surveys of coastal areas to detect any new arrivals. Early detection is key to preventing the establishment and spread of invasive species. Once an invasive species gains a foothold, it can be extremely difficult and costly to control or eradicate. Section 8. A call for action, protecting Antarctica's fragile ecosystems. The challenges facing Antarctica are significant, but there is still hope. By taking action now, we can mitigate the impacts of climate change and protect this unique and irreplaceable continent. We need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to curb global warming. We need to reduce plastic pollution by reducing our consumption of single-use plastics. We need to improve waste management. And we need to strengthen biosecurity measures to prevent the introduction of invasive species. Section 9. Global cooperation, a united front for Antarctica. Protecting Antarctica requires a global effort. No single nation can do it alone. International cooperation is essential for sharing knowledge, coordinating research, and implementing conservation measures. The Antarctic Treaty System, signed by over 50 nations, provides a framework for international cooperation in Antarctica. The treaty designates Antarctica as a natural reserve dedicated to peace and science. It prohibits military activity, mineral exploitation, and nuclear testing. Section 10. The future of Antarctica, a shared responsibility. The future of Antarctica is uncertain, but one thing is clear: its fate is intertwined with our own. The choices we make today will determine the future of this icy continent. We have a responsibility to protect this unique and vulnerable environment, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. By working together, we can ensure that Antarctica remains a land of wonder and beauty for centuries to come. Section 11. A time for action, safeguarding Antarctica for generations to come. The time for action is now. The challenges facing Antarctica are urgent. We cannot afford to delay. We must act decisively to reduce our impact on this fragile environment. We must embrace sustainable practices. We must become stewards of our planet. The fate of Antarctica, and indeed the planet, hangs in the balance. Let us rise to the challenge and ensure that this frozen wilderness remains a beacon of hope for generations to come.